Good morning. This is the tip of the morning to you. This is Karen Cochrane Hall from Tara Biz Condado and clientmarketingsolutions.com. This is our little positivity tip of the day, and we come to you live from beautiful Tenerife. Now, I just wanted to point out that I promised to do these. I committed to myself, and I've promised my people, and I hope I can't with you. Lovely listeners, lovely viewers, as one of my peeps. I promised that I would do a daily Facebook Live from 8 till 9 every morning, Monday to Friday. And tomorrow I'm not going to be able to do it because physically I'll be flying to lovely Belfast. I'm back to the UK for some personal and some business, some connection with some clients for speaking events, etc. in Northern Ireland, in my hometown. So I'm really looking forward to that. So tomorrow we will go live a little bit later because I'll be flying at 6:45 in the morning, so it's a bit early for everyone to be doing the Facebook Live earlier. So I'll try to do it maybe early afternoon tomorrow. Okay, so that was just a call out on that. So the last few days we've been talking about boundaries, about our tolerances, and how setting boundaries, healthy boundaries, and keeping them, being loving but not lenient with our boundaries, is essential to take our lives and our businesses and our careers to the best version ever of ourselves and of our careers and businesses. So the theory of this we've gone through, that we work on writing out our tolerances, the things that we put up with, that we support, that we really don't have to. We have a choice in this, and then from that we create a boundary or boundaries, and then we also create a consequence. In other words, if the person or the team or the event doesn't keep to the boundary, then what are the consequences? Okay, and then we have to be very clear that we have to follow through with the consequence, because otherwise it's like if you take it to the parent-child scenario, you tell your kid that they have to be in bed and asleep at 8 o'clock. And if they don't, then the next day they're not going to be able to watch TV in their TV time. If the next day they haven't behaved and you let them watch the TV, what are you doing? You're not complying, you're not following through on your consequence. So your discipline, or you've completely lost all face in front of the kid, and the kid will not take you seriously. So for everyone's good, we have to not only set the boundaries, be clear on the consequences, and at the same time, very, very, very importantly, be prepared to complete and follow through on the consequences, because if not, it's not good for you and it's not good for the other person or persons involved. Okay, so that's straight, that's clear. I believe in divine intervention in these things, and in the last few days, talking about boundaries, doing the Facebook Lives and boundaries, hey ho, what has happened? Well, we've had a couple of incidences in some clients' lives and businesses that we've had to re-establish or help them move through their boundaries and reset their boundaries, and also follow through on the consequences. This is part of life. It's not negative. It's the way we deal with stuff, with shit, with crap, with negativity, is the day-to-day of everyone's life. Life is it's up and down, and we've got to go with that flow, with that ebb and flow of life. So I think it's good. Obviously, I'm not going to be sharing anyone's names, that this client and student confidentiality here. But I think that if I take the two examples that I've got today, that came to me yesterday, we'll start with a lady who's a VIP client of mine, a coaching client. Now, this is a personal area in her life, because boundaries, I remind you, not just for businesses, they're very essential in any type of relationship. And this particular lady, with her life partner, the life partner, unfortunately, the other lady, is not prepared to express her fears and her frustrations of she's got a serious career problem. And unfortunately takes that home, and instead of expressing those fears, of working through, of asking for help, her way of getting through this is blocking, is numbing down, and she's unfortunately gone to addiction, to substance addiction and to alcoholic addiction. And the over drinking has created a scenario where the other lady just can't cope. And the consequence of this is she's been clear this isn't the first time, it's been going on for a while. And the last few days she's had another incident with her life partner. The other lady unfortunately has left her in a very embarrassing situation, being rude, aggressive, and obviously in a drunken state, and quite aggressive. And it's not the way that the first lady is prepared, my client is prepared to live. So what has she said? Well, she's obviously has a tolerance to something that she's not prepared to tolerate or support anymore in her life. And although she loves the other woman, she's not prepared to let this. She's put herself first, which we have to do, and said, no, this is the line, this is my boundary. If you behave like this, if you continue to behave like this, the consequence will be twofold. You will either get help with your addictions, or we'll have a temporal separation. And unfortunately, this is what this woman has called me out on yesterday. Phoned me up really hysterical, and I've had to help her with this and say, listen, it's your choice. At the end of the day, we all have a choice. But the example with the kiddie, if you don't comply with what your consequence is, what you've explained very clearly and lovingly, this is the consequence of you not keeping to the boundary. If you don't follow that up, you're doing yourself an ill service, and you're also doing your partner, the other woman, the ill service. So that is just an example of really true, raw and real. Life happens, and these things happen. So that's the first example. The second example in the last few days, it was something that actually came on Monday in a coaching session, that the person in question, the gentleman, is selling one of his businesses, and the person that's buying has been asking for stretching his comfort zones, but in a bad way. That there's obviously a handover period in the sale period of the business, and the other gentleman has said, the purchaser said, well, listen, I want you to do this, this and this, and their business in question has a 24-hour telephone call on. And in the month handover period, when the business is technically not my client's business, they're being asked, and the other person is insisting that they take the calls for that month, and work 24 hours free, and obviously that is not happening. So what have I suggested there? Another way of setting boundaries is to have terms and conditions, and especially in a business sale, I recommend it as a business conveyancing agent. I also recommend this in very clear lines of, these are the terms, these are conditions. It's done in writing. Both parties, both the vendor and the purchaser, sign it, so it's clear. It's very clear. So what will happen here, the consequence, the boundary is the list of terms and conditions of the sale. This is the handover period, this is what I'm going to be doing. And then the consequence, I will be working from 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. I will commit to that for no longer than 1 calendar month. And after hours, I'm not going to be doing it. And if you insist on wasting my time and trying for me to do certain things within that, and I don't have time to really show you the business, the consequence is on that date, after the maximum figure time of a month, I'll be walking out the door, and that's the consequence. You will not know everything about the business. Those are the terms and conditions. So you see how important it is in every aspect of our lives and businesses and careers to set the boundaries, be clear about the consequences, and be prepared to follow through. So I want to lighten this up because I can feel the energy. I don't know if you like my earrings today. They are pretty nafty. I really do love them. Anyway, that's why I'm wearing them today. I just want to lighten this up with a bit of a garbanzo shaker. If you remember, this is part of the legacy of the amazing Sensei Victoria Whitfield. One of her little tricks, and it breaks the negative energy. It really does. And as I say, it gets a smile on my face. I'm laughing a little bit with myself on this one, and also the staff every time I. They're laughing at me every time I get out the garbanzo shaker. It puts a smile on their face, so it lightens the energy. So it's really good stuff. So to recap, we need to be clear on our boundaries. We get the boundaries from our tolerances, Okay, what things that we're putting up with that we really shouldn't be, and we have a choice to not to put up with these things. We need to set the boundaries, set the consequences in a loving, clear fashion. In business, obviously, it's easier. We can put it in black and white. With personal relationships, you just have to keep on repeating this is the boundary, this is the consequence. You can give people warnings, but I think that what you have to be prepared is 2-3 warnings max, depending on the degree. I mean, obviously, with my client that has the partner problem that I described earlier, it's a very sad situation, but there is no second chance there. It's this, or we're finished. And I think that in life you have to draw those boundaries. So, my darlings, what I would like to do this ongoing next couple of Facebook Lives, I actually want to take out of Big Beautiful Balance, my book, available on Amazon. We use the life wheel on one of the chapters. We use the life wheel to cover certain areas and to see how balanced you are in life, because obviously Big Beautiful Balance is about balance. And what I was wanting to do, which I often do with my VIP one-on-one coaching clients to help them with their businesses and lives, is that we actually take the list of tolerances and we use the technique that we use to define which area of your life you want to work on first. We use that technique to choose one of the big areas or several of the big areas, the big tolerances, the ones that, again, your feelings are your GPS. When you feel really, really bad about it, something that's happening, something that you're putting up with, something that you're supporting, then that's the area that you need to choose to work on first. Or alternatively, you can build up your tolerance and muscles and your boundary making muscles and boundary setting muscles by choosing a couple of smaller boundaries and working through those. However, I would like to use that technique that we have in Big Beautiful Balance book. It is a bit of a tongue twister, to actually reassess regularly the progress that you're having with your boundaries, and if we have to reset the boundaries, what we can actually do, and program or schedule the actual revision of your boundaries in your business especially, into your calendar, into your diary, because one of the things that I'm very clear on is what doesn't get scheduled, what doesn't get written into your diary, what doesn't get programmed, doesn't get done. And these are important things. These are things that I always say, the 1% daily rule. You set a boundary and you keep to the consequence. You're improving your life and your business exponentially. It's not even 1% improvement. The 1% rule is 1% improvement daily. Growth daily means that if you even do it Monday to Friday, that's 5% multiplied by 4, 20% a month. That's a huge increment. It's a huge exponential increase in positivity and growth, in productivity, and all of those great things that we need to create the best version ever of our lives and of ourselves and of our teams. So I hope this boundary setting and the consequences of people not complying to our boundaries is helpful. It is one of the things personally that has helped me so much. It's not easy, it's simple, but it's not necessarily easy to apply, because we have to be committed to actually following through on the consequences. It's like anything in personal growth. We need to be committed to it. Okay, so Cleo, forget that I'm in love with the earrings. Yeah, they are green. I'm getting ready to fly out to Belfast tomorrow, first thing in the morning. I'm away for the next 3 or 4 days, so I'm really looking forward to getting some chill on. I looked last night at the weather forecast, and it looks pretty chilly in Northern Ireland. At least it's not supposedly not raining, but I mean that's a joke, because we always have rain in Ireland. That's why it's so bloody green. So I'm really looking forward. I'm getting chills just even thinking of getting home and reconnecting to my roots. And one of the things I'll be doing, guys, is it's important to keep the contact with your friends and with your roots. Never forget who you are. We're celebrating, oh my God, I'm getting old. I'm getting mature, I'm getting wiser. We're celebrating 35 years school leaving. So you do the math. So we're really looking forward to that. So I'm really excited about meeting up with a lot of people that I've kept in contact, albeit through Facebook, but the actual physical contact of all of us meeting up is really exciting. So do these things, make your life exciting, and wear glorious, gorgeous earrings, guys. I love you all. God bless you. I hope the boundary setting is developing. If you have problems with your boundary setting, reach out to me, PM me, and we can have a Skype call. We can do one of the messenger calls, or if you're here in Tenerife, we can meet up for a coffee date. We can have a coffee together, a nice herby tea, and talk about helping you set your boundaries in your life and in your business. So guys, this has been Karen Cochrane Hall from Tara Biz Condado and clientmarketingsolutions.com. From my heart to yours, the tip of the morning to you. God bless. Speak soon.